I just wanted to say, like, as we start, if people at home wanted to use a block for part of this, if you don't have a block, a thick book will do as well. So we'll use that in a little bit, but we'll keep it tucked under our chair for now. So we'll get started. We'll come to our comfortable seat. Let's sit nice and straight with our feet flat on the ground. Maybe take a nice breath in, let the shoulders move up. Exhale, release down. Maybe lower or close your eyes. And just start to notice your breath. Take a long inhale through your nose. Release a long exhale out through your mouth. Start to settle. Settle your thoughts. Settle your breath. With your next breath, if you like, you can move one hand to your heart and your other hand to your belly. Start to notice the movement with your breath. On the inhale, feel everything expanding to bring the air in. And then as you release the breath, notice how things move to lower and calm. Take another few inhales like that. Long, long inhale. And a long, slow exhale. And now, as you're ready, you can begin to flutter your eyes open, maybe let your hands come down to your knees. And we'll take our gaze up toward the sky. Inhale as you look up. Slowly lower the head as you exhale and look down. Inhale again up. Really reach. And exhale, lower down. This time we'll look up and we'll pause. Slowly let your head drop over to the right. And now let your chin drop down like it's rolling across the top of the chest. Nice slow movement, stretching out your neck. And then come to look over your left shoulder. Again, take a pause. And slowly let the head lift like you're looking over a rainbow. Follow slowly. Come back to that right shoulder and pause. Now we'll do that in reverse. Let's drop our chin first. Come to the left. And then we'll lift and look overhead again. That wasn't reverse, that's the same, but that's okay. Then we'll come back to center. And now let's take our hands down and start to float them up. Keep your palms to the ground. Just come a little below shoulder height. Then turn the palms up and then rotate them back down. So feel this stretch likely goes up into your shoulders. So always just go to what's comfortable, never go to a place of pain. No pain in yoga. And then we'll take a pause. Let's turn the right palm up and touch the right shoulder. Then we'll stretch it out. Then we'll turn the left palm up and touch the left shoulder and stretch it back out. Now let's turn both palms forward and reach to the front. Bring them together. Draw them in toward your heart. Let your thumbs rest here on your sternum. And notice the breath. Again, feel the movement of the air rising and then falling. We'll release the hands And now let's work a little on our feet. Let's warm them up a bit. So let's lift and lower our heels. So bring them up and down with as much force as is comfortable for you, but help get some stretch up the back of the calf and get a little blood flow on this cold day. Then we'll pause, slide the feet forward just a little, and then we'll lift our toes and lower them. So just tap them up and down. Then we'll take a pause. We'll do one up and one down, a little pedal. All the time, try to keep your back nice and straight, your chin parallel to the ground. And then we'll take our feet maybe a little closer. Make sure you're sitting in a good spot so that you can lift your feet really quickly, up and down, a little stepping. And then we'll let the feet drift a little further apart. Come closer together, drift apart, get a nice little stretch through the hips there. A couple more times we'll do that. And then we'll take a pause when the feet are in front. Let's take our right leg and just float it up a little, maybe even hold underneath. You can interlace your fingers behind your thigh. And let's flex and point. And move as slow as you can. I think when you move a little slower, you feel more of that stretch growing up. And then we'll take a pause. And then let's use the right toe to turn to the right, like little circles, like the big toes drawing that circle. Gives our ankle a nice rotation there. And then we'll pause and we'll go in the other direction. So we'll circle to the left. And then pause, we'll lower the right foot. Now let's lift the left leg. Same thing, maybe hands interlace under the thigh and start with that slow flex and point. So again, go at a pace where you can feel the stretch. I think sometimes when we rush, we don't feel as much stretch. Then we'll pause, then we'll do those circles. So go off to the right first, and just rotate around a few times. And then we'll pause and we'll rotate now to the left, other way. And then we'll lower that foot. And now let's go back to stepping a little. Quick steps. Then let the feet drift apart, together, apart, together. This time when they come apart, let's land our feet so that they're at a V shape now, and we're gonna float our arms up. Let's take our arms so fingertips face up to the sky. And when we take our inhale, we'll lift the arms, and if you want to add, you can lift your heels. Then on the exhale, we'll lower both arms and heels. So inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale again, lifting. Exhale, lower. We'll do that one more time. Inhale, lift. And exhale, we'll lower. Now let's walk our feet a little closer together, and we'll take our right hand over to our left shoulder and our left hand over the top to our right shoulder. So our left hand is the one that's up on top. And we'll take a breath and lift the elbows as we reach up. Exhale, we'll lower. Again, inhale, lifting. Exhale, lower. One more time, we'll inhale and we'll lift. Exhale, we'll lower. Let's release the arms, let them come back out. Let's turn our palms and inhale as high as is comfortable. So it might be to the shoulders, it might be to the head, or it can be higher. So whatever feels comfortable. Then take a big breath, turn your hands forward, and let's exhale, lower down. So you come with belly toward the legs. And let your arms just dangle there. Let them feel heavy as they swing. Keep your gaze to the ground so your neck stays neutral. Then we'll take our hands to the front of our legs, slide them along the shin bone, stop at the kneecap. Again, gaze stays to the ground so you've got a nice straight back. Then we'll release the hands toward the ground again, And this time on the inhale, we're going to lift the body, lift the arms, lift the breath. And again, hands go to where they're comfortable. Let them meet and lower down to your heart. Take a pause. And now with hands together and elbows floating to sides, let's turn to the right. Just a gentle, simple twist. Keep that back straight, chin parallel to the ground. Then we'll float back to center, and then we'll float off to the left. Again, just a small movement. Take a breath. Come back to the center. This time let's inhale, separate the hands, let them go as high as is comfortable, and then let's make little fists and do our wrist rotations to come down. So let the hands come out to shoulder height, and then we'll pause, and then we'll reverse the way we're rotating those wrists. All the way down. And now we'll take our left hand and cross it over to our right shoulder, and our right hand's going to come up on the top over to the left. We'll take an inhale, we'll lift those elbows. Exhale, we'll lower them down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. One more time, let's take that inhale and lift those elbows, feel that stretch. Exhale, lower, release. Let the arms come back out. And now let's use our block. So if you're at home, again, you can use a big book if you don't have a block, something that's thick. What we'll do is step up on it. So we'll start with our feet behind it, so you might have to adjust a little bit so your toes are just touching the back of the block. And then we'll step one foot up and then the other, and then come back down. So if you have your hands on your legs, you might even feel the different muscles in your legs that are moving here and working. So muscles we want to keep strong, keep moving, being able to get up and down stairs safely. We'll do a couple more. Keep the back straight as you're doing this. And now we'll come up on the block and we'll pause. You might even have to adjust a little. We're going to step in front of it now. So do what you need to be comfortable, and then step one foot in front, then the other, then it comes back. So again, we're just moving these muscles in a different way. We always want to keep them all strong. So forward and back. We'll do one more. When we come up on top of the block this time, let's pause. And now we're going to step out to the side. So we'll be working our hips here. So step one off, then the other, back up, off to the sides, back to the center. And again, you can go at a pace that works for you. But again, you feel this likely in the hips, through the thighs, the quadriceps, the hamstrings, the back muscles. And now we're going to leave our feet on the floor. And this is the one where we're going to take the block. It's going to be squeezed in between our feet. So you might have to make some adjustments. But what we'll do from here, keeping the back straight, we're going to lift our feet and squeeze the block. Give it a nice squeeze. Feel all those muscles up on the inner leg work. Then lower down. We'll do that again. We'll lift it and squeeze it. You're probably also feeling this in those core muscles. Those are the ones that help keep us upright and balanced. So we want to keep those strong too. Squeeze and lower. And we'll do one more. We'll lift, we'll squeeze, and then we'll lower. And now we'll take our block and just tuck it under the chair for now. And now sitting nice and straight, let's take our right foot over to the right side. So we're coming into a V shape again with our legs, but the right foot's pointing to the side. We'll let our arms float out to the side, palms to the ground, and let's look to the right fingertips. Our warrior two. With the next breath, let's take an inhale and take our hands to our heart. So we'll inhale, and then we'll exhale, we'll extend our arms and look to the right. So we'll do this a few times. Use your breath, inhale together with the hands, exhale, extend. Inhale together, exhale, extend. One more time, we'll take an inhale. This time when we exhale, let's take a pause. Again, looking at those right fingertips. Really feel the fingers, the arms stretching in opposition. Then we'll take this right hand, let's lower it down to our thigh. Let's turn our left palm up and lift it. Again, it can come just to the shoulder, it can come to the head, or you can reach overhead, whatever is most comfortable. Feel that nice little stretch here through the left side. Keep your gaze out front here on the floor in front of you. Then we'll float those arms back out, extend long, look to the right fingertips again, sitting nice and straight. We'll turn the right palm up to the sky. We'll lift the right hand, lower the left, again, as high as is comfortable. Your gaze can be overhead, or you can look down to the hand that's floating down toward the ground, whatever feels best for you. Then we'll float both arms back open, feel that nice stretch again. Then we'll take an inhale. Let's take our hands to our heart. Walk our right foot back up to the front here so they're side by side. And then with the elbows, let's lean forward a bit, find a place to rest them. Open your palms like they're a book and let your forehead rest there. Little child's pose. And take a breath. Release any tension. Then slowly, as you're ready, we'll float back upright. So we'll come back up. This time our right foot will stay where it is. We'll walk the left foot over toward the left side of the chair so it's off in that V shape. We'll extend our arms out, palms to the ground, back is nice and straight, reaching, looking to the left fingertips. Take a breath. Now with the next breath, let's bring our hands to our heart as we inhale. Exhale, we'll extend those arms again. Look to the left. Inhale. Exhale. Do one more. Inhale. And exhale. And we'll take a pause now. Let's take that left hand and lower it down to our left thigh here and turn the right palm up and lift it, whether it's to the shoulder, to the head, or overhead. You find that place that gives you that nice stretch. Again, no pain. Take a breath. Then we'll float both arms out, extend them again, look to the left. Then we'll turn that left palm up to the sky. We'll lift that left hand, again, as high as is comfortable as we lower the right. And you can make a decision if you like to look up or look down. Take a breath. Then we'll float both arms back out. We'll look to the left one last time here. With our next breath, we'll take an inhale, bringing the hands together. Let's walk that left foot back to the front. Elbows will rest on our legs here above the knees, palms open like a book, and rest your forehead. And just take a few breaths. Notice the energy in your body moving here. And slowly, as you're ready, we'll sit back up. And now, sitting nice and straight, we're going to leave the right foot on the ground and we're going to extend the left. And then we're going to take our right hand, so the other hand, and extend that. And then take a breath. Feel the core work here. And then we'll lower. Let's do a couple on one side like that. So the left foot lifts and the right arm lifts. So really feel that nice stretch through the back, the fingers, the foot. Then we'll lower. And one more. Inhale, lifting. Opposite hand to opposite leg. And then we'll lower. Let's take a pause here with the hands on the knees and let's inhale as we look up. And exhale as we look down. One more time, we'll take that nice inhale, lifting, looking up. Exhale, we'll lower the gaze down. Now we'll set ourselves back to center, and this time it will be the right foot that goes up and the left arm that reaches out. So really feel that reach with the toes, with the leg, and then lower. Then we'll lift, opposite hand, opposite leg, and then lower. And one more time, we'll lift, take that pause, take that breath, and then we'll lower. Now let's take our hands to our shoulders. Let's do a few little shoulder rolls. And then we'll pause, and then we'll roll forward. And then we'll take another pause, and let's let our right hand come down next to the chair here. You can even hold it if you like. And we'll take our left hand up. So again, it can be shoulder, can be to your head, or it can rise higher. Reach that right hand down toward the ground. So you feel a nice gentle stretch through the left side here. Take a breath. Then we'll come back to center. We'll lower that left hand, and now we'll let that one stay down as we lift the right. Again, go as high as is comfortable. So it could just be to shoulder or to head or overhead. Reach that left hand down. Feel that nice stretch on the right side. Then we'll come back to center. We'll bring the hands back down. And now let's slide our feet forward. Plant the heels so that the toes come up. We're going to take our hands close to our shoulders with our palms facing out, nice and straight with our back, and we'll push those hands forward. Find that place that you feel a nice stretch across the back. And if you like, you can drop your gaze down so you're looking toward your lap. Take another breath. Then we'll float back up with our gaze. We'll bring our hands back in. And again, we'll release. We'll push our hands forward. Take your gaze down if you like. Feel that nice stretch. One more time. We'll bring the hands in. Exhale, we'll push them away. And then we'll lower the hands down to our knees. We'll get our feet back flat on the ground. And let's slide just our right foot forward a little. We'll take our hands down by the chair. Palms are going to face forward on this one. We'll take a big inhale as we lift and turn the palms. Exhale as we lower. And again, lift as high as you're comfortable. Inhale upward, exhale down. Feel that core working here to hold you steady. Inhale, lift, exhale, lower. Then we'll let the arms float up to just about shoulder height, maybe a little lower. We'll let the right hand reach back and the left reach forward. Find that big alternating stretch. Then we'll all do opposites. It's almost like we're scissors. Sit up nice and straight in your chair. Then we'll let both hands come to the front again, and let's sit nice and straight. Then we'll let the right hand open to the right side like it's a door. We'll take a gentle twist to the right. Take a breath. Then we'll float that right hand back to center. We'll bring the hands back, bring them to our heart. Take that pause, slide that right foot back. Then we'll slide our left foot forward. Let's bring our hands down by the chair, palms face forward, and let's take a nice inhale as we lift. Turn the palms, exhale as we lower, almost like we're pushing the air. We're lifting it on the inhale, and we're pushing it down on the exhale. One more time, we'll lift. And then exhale, lower. Then let the hands float just to shoulder height. We'll take a pause here. The left hand will stay forward. We'll send the right hand back and we'll reach. And then we'll alternate. Again, like little scissor arms here, back and forth. Feel that nice stretch. And then let both hands come forward. So let the left come up front too. Let's sit nice and straight. Then we'll take the left hand, open it toward the left as we find a gentle twist to the left. Then we'll take that left hand back to the front, both hands together, bring them back to our heart, slide both feet together, take a nice breath, inhale, and exhale. Then we'll lower the hands and let's leave the left foot on the ground and we're going to lift the right. So we want to sit nice and straight in the chair. So you want to make sure you're in a good spot here. When we lift this right leg, if you want, you can lift the arms a little too. So a little crane pose. You look like Karate Kid here. Then we exhale, we lower. So this works all those muscles in the core for sure. So let's lift on the inhale, again, as high as is comfortable. Hold for a breath. Then exhale, we'll lower. We'll do one more like that. We'll lift, we'll pause at the top, and exhale, we'll lower. Now we'll let the right foot stay on the ground and we'll do the same with the left foot being the one we lift. So lift the left leg up a little, inhale, exhale, lower. Inhale again, lift. Exhale, lower. One more time, we'll inhale and lift. And then exhale, lower. And now let's come back to our feet for a little bit. Let's lift our heels and lower them again, up and down. And then if you want, take a pause and let one come up and one come down. So alternate little pedaling steps. And then we'll take another pause. And then you might have to slide forward a little. We'll lift our toes and lower them. So up and down. And then we'll take a pause. We'll do one up and one down. So we'll alternate. Feel all those muscles on the ankles getting stretched here. And then we'll take a pause. We'll bring the feet a little closer and let's do those quick steps up and down. And then if you want, let the feet start to drift apart and then come closer together. Let them drift, come together. This time when they drift and they come apart, take a pause, let the feet come to the ground, and we'll lift our arms back up in that cactus shape. This time as you inhale, lift the arms, maybe lift the heels. Exhale, lower the arms, lower the heels. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. One more time. Inhale as you lift. Feel those shoulder blades glide toward each other. Exhale, lower. Let's walk our feet a little closer together and let's cross, doesn't matter this time, our arms over. And inhale, lift. And exhale, we'll lower. Release the arms. And now let's take our right leg again, float it up just a little. Maybe hold underneath that thigh and let's do those flex and point stretches. And then we'll pause and then we'll do our circles again. Off to one side, a few rotations. And then we'll pause and we'll go in the other direction, a few rotations. And then we'll pause and we'll lower the right foot. Now we'll work on the left. Same thing, lift it, maybe hold underneath and flex and point. just notice if it feels any different now versus when we started our class. We've done a lot of work with all those muscles. And then we'll pause, we'll start doing some circles to the right. And then we'll pause and we'll do some circles to the left. And then we'll pause and we'll lower that foot. And now let's take our hands together. Let's interlace our fingers and let's do our side to side figure 8. So kind of float one way, then the other. Get a nice little stretch for our wrists. And then let's pause when we get to the center, and now let's go in the other direction, which isn't the automatic. It takes a little brain power too. And then we'll take another pause. We'll come back to center. Let's release our hands. Let's open and close. Really stretch those fingers. And then let's take a pause. Let's touch our index finger to our thumb. Tap it a couple times. Give that a little stretch. And then we'll go to the next finger. And then the ring finger. And the pinky. And then we'll pause and we'll tap the thumb to the hand. This is not always easy. And then we'll release, let the hands come back down. Let's take our right hand forward like we're saying stop. Let's rotate the fingers down toward the ground away from you. And take your other hand and glide it. You can have as much bend in the elbow as you need, but what you want to find is a stretch when you get to the fingertips. So whatever amount of stretch feels good. You might feel this through the arm, the upper back. And then we'll release. Wiggle those fingers. And we'll take our left hand, same thing, like you're saying stop, push forward, then rotate the fingers to the ground. And then we'll glide the other hand all the way to the bottom of the fingertips. Again, you can have as much bend in that elbow. I have these super long arms, so not everyone has that. And then we'll release. Just kind of wiggle those fingers. And now let's do our little work on our knees. I think this time of year our knees always need a little extra care. So lift the right leg a little. You can hold underneath the leg here and just start with a little bit of a swing just to release any tension that you might have in the knee. And then you can let the foot come back to the ground so it's resting, no pressure. And just start a little massage from the back of the leg, behind the knee, at the top of the calf. I always talk about our knees can tell a story of our life, so everybody probably remembers something. So take it slow, be gentle. They work hard for us. And then we'll pause. Let's find a little bit of a massage on the top. This is the one where we pinch around that kneecap. You can't really get a lot of skin there, but what we're doing with all of this is bringing more blood flow to this area. And that's what our muscles and joints like, is that extra blood flow is healing. So it really helps them feel a little better if they're ever having a cranky day. And then let's pause and go in the other direction. So we'll circle around the other way. I always liken this to pinching a little pie crust here around your kneecap. And then we'll take a pause. Let's take the right hand and set it right on top of the kneecap, and the left hand comes on top of that. We'll do a few little circles. Bring a little more heat into that area. On a day like this, it's very welcome. And then we'll pause and do the circles the other way. And then we'll pause. And now we'll come over to the left leg. So you might already notice a difference from one to the other. So same thing, we'll lift it just a little and maybe release. Sometimes the knee gets a little tension. You've got to release it first. And then we'll lower the foot and we'll start again with that massage at the back of the knee, at the bottom of the quad, thigh, and then the top of the calf. Getting all those different muscles and tendons. There's a lot of connections here in this part of our body, so we want to take good care of them. And then come to the front, again to the top, to the sides. We're bringing all that blood flow in. Now we'll do that little pinching, using your nails to go around the kneecap itself. And then we'll pause after we do it and go in the other direction. So again, it's not easy to get much skin there. Our kneecap itself is just that one little bone there, but it's all the connections to it that make everything work the way it needs to. So we want to be gentle. Then we can take that left hand and set it on top of the kneecap itself, the right hand on top of that. And let's just do a little bit of a circle here. Again, bringing some warmth into the kneecap. We'll pause, we'll go in the other direction. And then we'll take a pause and let's sit back up in our chair. If you can, lean all the way back and almost like you're a bear scratching your back on a tree. Find that nice release. And then let's settle. Now, let's take our two fingertips and find where our jaw, upper and lower jaw meets, and let's just do a little massage there too. Another place our body tends to hold stress. Our jaw and our hips, actually. So just find that circular motion. And then if you want to come down the jawbone with those little circles. This is a great one. I think I mentioned to do this in the morning when you first wake up. Sometimes after we sleep is when our jaw is its tightest. And we'll take a pause when we're at that jawbone connection again. And then let's release that. And now we'll do our final body scan. So keep your back supported against the chair. Your feet are flat on the ground. And if you like, lower or close your eyes. And just start to notice how your body feels. Think about the bottom of your feet at your toes, your heels, then onto the ankles, the lower legs, your calves and shins. And then focus on the knees. Maybe after our massage you can feel a little tingling there. Just notice the sensations. And up to the upper part of your leg, your thigh, where your big muscles of your quadriceps and your hamstrings are. And onto the lower back. And then to the upper back, the shoulders. And with the next breath, notice the movement of the upper chest and down into the belly. And notice the fingertips. The palms of your hands, your wrists, your lower arms, your elbows, onto the upper arms, into the neck area, your chin, your jaw. If your teeth are touching, separate them. If your tongue is on the roof of your mouth, release it. Notice the breath come in through the nose and release out through the mouth. Then move on to the eyes. The top of the head. And when you're ready, begin to take some gentle movement back to your fingers and your toes. And if you're ready, you can start to flutter your eyes back open. My little quote to close our class today: your life reflects what you think. Think positive, think beautiful, think good. You are what your thoughts are. Thank you so much for coming and practicing with me.